right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View. And here is your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody today? I hope everybody had a great Veterans Day yesterday, and I hope everybody's week overall was great. How are you, Anya and Paul?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a wonderful Wednesday evening. We are having a nice weather, surprisingly for November, but I'm enjoying it, so it's great.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing all right. We are having a little bit of a cool day today, and by cool I mean in the 60s. I know for some people around the nation that is not cool at all. That is, in fact, very warm. But we're having a cool, overcast kind of day today. They said fixing to rain today, but that never materialized as far as I know. So it's just been a cool kind of overcast day on this Wednesday afternoon.
So, have you guys heard about the government shutdown coming to an end? I guess tonight there's going to be a vote, and they're predicting that the government shutdown is going to come to an end. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh yeah, I heard it on Sunday. I think I opened my Facebook and then I saw Democrats being mad, so I figured something good must happen.
Yes, we've been hearing all about it, and around here, because there's people that work for the government in some capacity federally, we are very pleased with that information. Especially since now those people will be getting paid now, which everybody's happy about.
Yeah, did you hear that President Trump promised the flight controllers who stuck it out and went to work without getting paid all these weeks? He promised them each a $10,000 bonus.
I did not hear that.
I did not. Wow.
Yeah, I heard that within the last few days on the news. And he said they're true patriots because they went to work, when they were needed, even though they weren't being paid at the time. And now not only are they getting their back wages, but they're also going to get a $10,000 bonus. I think it's good.
Yeah, that's good. I just don't understand why, when the government is shut down and nobody gets paid, but Congress gets paid.
Yeah, that's really
the ones who are holding everything up, and they still get paid, whereas others don't. That's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I think I probably said before on this show is where the big issue is for me is that Congress is holding everything up, and yet they're still getting paid. But if they weren't getting paid, we wouldn't even have had a shutdown in the first place.
I think our legislators are supposed to be public servants, and I think they should get minimum wage for what they do because they're public servants. And I think if they were paid a lot less, that people who really care about helping the American people would be the ones to go to Congress, and stuff might get done better around here.
Yeah, there's so many things that are messed up with all this. But what do you guys think? I've been hearing that Trump is promising also, because he's gonna hopefully have lots of money from tariffs. He wants to give everybody $2,000.
Yeah, I heard that. I
don't know if it's good or bad. I kind of don't think it's that good.
I think it's okay to give some of it to the people. To me though, it's just like all of the other monies the government's given us in the last 5 years with all the stuff that's been going on. And if Trump does do that right now, I think it's going to really bless a lot of people, especially so close to Christmas, right? It'll make Christmas better for people too. So
yeah, right. But one of the things that makes me so hesitant about it, not because it might cause more inflation, because so much more money will be circulating, but also how much fraud is around that distribution. I just remember that stimulus checks, you guys remember from 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there was so much fraud. People were filing under made up company names and stealing social security numbers and intercepting checks. There was so much, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know, this mass distribution is not so may not be so effective.
Well, maybe President Trump could find a way to distribute money to the taxpayers in a way that it wouldn't be able to be corrupted like that.
And I
because
certainly heard of
people.
people back then who didn't get a stimulus check period,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
which
I heard that too.
was very upsetting.
Yeah.
And what's most upsetting, you call IRS, and IRS. I don't know if you guys had any experience ever calling IRS. I have, not often, but they almost never answer their phone, and they have a tendency that when you call, you wait on hold for freaking hour, and then they answer and they hang up. So you
Oh.
almost never get to talk to anybody. It's so frustrating. And I remember I worked as an interpreter for a company, and there's a service in New York. It's called 311. It's like a kind of city service, city inquiry place. Like you can call and ask for resources or some phone numbers or whatever. So when people call frustrated, they never got their check, and the operator would tell them, okay, call IRS, here's the number. And they say, I call like 20 times and I spend hours on hold, and they either hang up or never answer. And yeah, so there's nothing to do. Like what
Oh. Well, the IRS is just like all of our other government, agencies, pretty much worthless to the taxpayers, it seems like.
Is
And
Yeah.
I
that
think our
311 or is that
government,
211?
she said
Uh
311.
in New York it's 311. I believe in California it's 211.
Okay. Yeah, and I know here it's 211, and other places it's I believe 211 as well. So I think over here 311, not to get down this tangent, is like for non-emergency or something like that.
I wonder if we have a number like that here in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all do. Every state has, from what I know, every state has it. So I'm sure you guys have it.
Yeah, you have some sort of service like that. You can
Yeah.
I mean, you can experiment, call from your phone 211 and see where it takes you.
Just don't do the 9.
What would
Yeah.
9?
Don't do the 911, okay?
Oh, not 911.
So are either one of you planning on doing any Black Friday shopping later this month?
Oh, I don't even know yet. Usually we do a little bit. I don't know if the libs are gonna come through with this or not, but they were going to cancel Black Friday and not shop. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's hilarious.
I was like, oh, good, stay home. I hate crowds.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I a long time ago decided to take the easy way out when it comes to Christmas, and I usually just give my loved ones cash. You know what I mean? Then I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to wrap presents. I don't have to do all that crap. I just give everybody cash.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I know some people,
Yeah.
and we can have a conversation about this, down the road when we get closer to Black Friday and the holidays. But I know some people get very upset with that. I personally do not. If you'd like to send me cash, I'll give you my address right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll give you my cash tag, right?
I'll give you the cash tag immediately.
yeah, some people think it's just easy way out, like you just not being creative. But you know what? Money is good for everyone. I mean, I never heard anybody say, "Oh no, I don't give me some gift that I'm gonna put on my shelf and forget about." you know, I think it's cash is good. Or
Cash
gift.
is king,
Mm.
as the saying goes.
Cash is king. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Gift cards are also good.
Oh,
They're pretty
yeah.
popular lately.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon gift cards or whatever. I don't know. You can make your own Amazon card. You go and then you can personalize it. Like I think I did it last year for
Right.
someone.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but I also like the spirit of the holiday. Like when you have gifts on the Christmas tree, and then on the
Oh.
25th you unwrap them. There's some excitement for me in that too.
Yeah, I really I like the music of the holidays, and I like the smells of the holidays, and I like the festive spirit of the holidays. But I really don't get into going overboard with shopping anymore and all of that.
Yeah, but sometimes you can find some unique things. Like they do some, like, stores prepare stuff, like different gift sets and stuff like that. You can
Mhm.
look around, but it's not for everybody. I personally like.
Mhm.
What about you, Paul? Do you like gifts, making gifts, receiving gifts, or?
Well, I don't know. No, I don't know a lot of people who don't like gifts.
Good
I
point.
do like gifts, but no, I do love um, giving gifts to those I really care about. To give them something that's so unique to them. I do really enjoy that. When I was younger, my mother got us into knitting a little bit. So I did, I think, make my dad or someone a hat many years ago in terms of making gifts. But to Becca's original question, I usually don't Black Friday shop, although a couple of years ago, there was some musical equipment that I seen on sale that for a Black Friday sale, and it was quite significantly off the sticker price. Quite significantly lower than the sticker price. So I did purchase that, and for the most part, was very happy with my purchase.
Oh, that's good.
20 years ago, my best friend and I used to go, like, we'd get up early and we would go Black Friday shopping. And oh my gosh, I remember mornings when, or like even nights, because we'd go, like, we'd do our Thanksgiving dinner with our family on Thanksgiving, and then we'd go that night and start our Black Friday shopping because so many of the
Sure.
stores opened up that night, and I just remember walking through Walmart, trying not to fall asleep pushing the cart while Carrie's like telling me about all the stuff that's around us and stuff. And I was like, oh, I just want to go home and go to bed. But my friend back from Carrie, she just was like a super shopaholic. So like I remember sometimes we'd go to Spokane and hit like Toys R Us and hit their early morning specials, on Black Friday and stuff like that.
Did you go to Kmart?
I don't think we went to Kmart much back then, but we'd go to Toys R Us and Kohl's and all the big stores in Spokane that we didn't have in Missoula. Of
Oh,
course,
sure.
now there's a Kohl's in Missoula. After I left Missoula really started expanding. There's a Kohl's there. There's a Cabela's there. All kinds of stuff that wasn't there when I lived there.
Is Spokane a big city? I thought it was
Um,
small.
Spokane is bigger than Missoula is, and Spokane is like a 3-hour drive from Missoula. So we used to go to Spokane all the time for shopping and stuff.
Spokane, Washington, we were talking about, right?
Yeah, Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
Alexa, what's the population of Spokane, Washington?
According to the 2020 U.S. Census, the population of Spokane is 229,000 people, which is a 10.9%
Did you hear
increase
that?
over the 2010
Yeah.
U.S. Census.
Yeah, so
But it was for 2020, and there's
yeah, that was
so many
5 years
illegal-
ago, and it's bound to be a lot bigger now. But that's the most recent information I could get you.
And plus, yeah, I know. And plus, if you count all the illegals who live there,
Oh,
which
yeah.
are many, 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 so
Yeah.
probably a few 500,000.
So now, are the illegals? The illegals aren't being counted in our censuses yet, are they? Because I know that. Remember, the Democrats tried to get them counted in the census. Did that get?
They try, yeah. They
Yeah.
try, but I don't know. It's just there's just way too many, and it's hard to just too hard to deal with all that when there are too many. But yeah, cities grow and stores become open. Actually, in my town, they're promising to build Costco, which I'm pretty excited about.
Oh, really? That'll be cool. So what's your largest store that you have in your city right now, Anya?
Well, let's see. We have Target, we have Walmart, we have Kohl's, we have Maurice's.
Oh, okay.
We used to have JCPenney's, JCPenney, but not anymore. They closed a few years ago. We have Ulta Beauty. Gee, I don't know. Like,
Do you have Macy's?
I wish.
Oh, we used to have Macy's in Missoula where I used to live, but they actually closed their doors just before I left Missoula.
You guys have an Aldi's?
Oh yes, we do have Aldi's. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we have Aldi's here in Mesa too. My friend, my handyman Sean, he goes there all the time and tells me about the great deals they've got at Aldi's.
Yeah, I like
not,
Aldi's.
not a super fan of that place. Don't
How's
love that place. Well, I just feel like, they have a lot of Aldi's stuff. You can't buy a lot of the major brands. And so like I think their Aldi's brand is like Clancy or something like that. So if you wanted Pringle potato chips, you have to get the Clancy version, and it's not a
Yeah.
Pringle. Or if you
Yeah.
want like a Coke, you might be able to get Coke from Aldi's. I don't remember, but they're promoting their Aldi's cola, which is not the same. But I get why people go there. Like some of their produce, I think is really good, and so I get why people like like that place.
And it's a little cheaper,
It is.
Yeah, that's what.
If you don't go for fancy shopping, if you just go to get your basic items, like we talked about last time, I think. So you can easily, like, I like bread. I like to buy bread there.
Sure.
And even chocolate. Lately, they started having more selection for chocolate. Their chocolate used to suck miserably. I didn't like anything there. But now they expanded. I discovered some cool chocolate, like with almonds and orange. Oh, man, that's so good.
I think that was just my main complaint, is that they didn't have a lot of major brands. They obviously had their brand, which allows them to sell it at a cheaper price, which I do understand that. But that was just kind of my grievance, if you will, with that place. But I've been in there, and I know a lot of people love that place.
Well, if I had to cherry pick about Aldi, I mean, I'm pretty happy with Aldi. But
Sure.
If I had to cherry pick, I'd say my complaint would be that like if you want to buy something individual, you cannot buy. Like if you want to buy, say, lemons, you cannot buy one lemon or two. Like you have to buy a bag of lemons.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
Okay.
that would be frustrating.
Yeah.
Guess you're gonna have to make a lot of lemonade then, I guess.
Yes. Same goes for limes. But other stuff, I mean, yeah, I think oranges you cannot pick out singles, or apples. It's all prepackaged. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I do kind of remember that. I kind of forgot about that.
But it's not that bad though.
So do you guys have any travel planned over the holidays?
No, we typically stay home. I don't like the hassle of the airport.
So my sister and I made arrangements for two of our nieces to fly here on the 25th. And so I'm really glad that this traffic controller thing has come. The shutdowns come to an end because of how dangerous they said flying was going to be. So hopefully by the 25th, everything will be squared away again.
Where are they from?
They're going to fly Allegiant from Great Falls, Montana to here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's Allegiant, so it's just a direct flight. So honestly, I was hoping that Allegiant wouldn't be too affected by the air traffic controller rarity, because they don't have very many flights anyway. Allegiant doesn't. So, and I think they use the same traffic controllers as the Missoula International Airport. So,
I've never flown with them. Is that one of those companies that if you missed a flight, the next one is like in 2 days or something?
Yes, it is. But they're super duper convenient, because in Montana, like, there's a lot of cities that it's hard to get in and out of, but Allegiant has direct flights from every one of those cities into Mesa here. Like, and I have family all over Montana, and I also have family in Minnesota, and there's they fly out of Minnesota too into here. So yeah, you can take Allegiant from Great Falls into here, Great Falls, Montana, or Billings, Montana, or Bozeman, or Helena. Like, did I say Great Falls or Great Falls? Like,
yeah, you did.
Like, so over the years, I've had a lot of friends and family come and visit me since I moved here on Allegiant from Montana. Like, oh my gosh. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but a couple of my blind girlfriends from Montana flew out here, and I believe they flew Allegiant. Sheila and Joy, they flew out here to visit. So it's just a convenient airline, and they fly right into the Mesa Phoenix Gateway Airport, just a few blocks from my house. So.
Oh, right on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you get to hear airplanes all the time by your house?
Actually, no, thank God. I mean, I can hear them, but not as bad as where I used to live. Like, before I bought my house here, I was renting a house in Minneapolis, and it was right by the airport. And like we literally, like the house would shake when the airplane would go over, and it was really terrible. I used to wake up in the middle of the night terrified that a plane was going to hit the house because I could hear it, and it would just terrify me. I hated living in that house. We only lived there for a year, so.
Yeah, I remember from Minneapolis. So I could hear planes a lot too. But trust me, it's not nearly as bad as living by the train.
When did you live in Minneapolis?
When I worked at Blind Incorporated, Blind Ink.
Oh, when did you live at Blind Ink, and what did you do there, Anya?
Yeah, I taught English as a second language.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that in college, I lived 1 mile away from the train, like not the train station, but the what do you call the freight train?
Uh-huh.
And they are required to do their whistle thing when they go through
Yes.
town. Oh my god! I thought I was never gonna get used to this. Like, oh my god! I would wake up, and after a while, I stopped even noticing it. I couldn't hear it anymore.
Oh my gosh. So right after the accident that blinded me way back in 1989, my parents became very poor because of all the medical bills. And we moved back to the oldest house in town that was right back by the railroad tracks. And we lived there until I left home at the age of 18, right? And so for 6 years, I had to listen to those trains. And it was the first 6 years after my brain injury. And I remember going through that stress on my central nervous system of the train whistles at all hours of the day and night. It was terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, back then I thought my parents intentionally found it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
I told you we were lost.
Hello?
Gonna have to reset this leg, my young friend.
Where's Mateo?
He never came, they never showed up.
We're happy to help people like you, but it isn't safe to be out there wandering.
I see you two enjoyed our world-famous ribs.
How many times have I told you, kids? No cartoons after sundown.
I don't know what kind of sick fucking games you two are playing down here. Carol and I really liked you too.
Are we back? Okay. Gosh, that's crazy. Last time I saw that, I thought he says Carol really liked you too, but then he says in there, Carol and I really liked you too. I guess I'll have to watch it again and see how it really goes, how the line really goes on there.
No, I have nothing to contribute since I haven't seen that.
So, guys, I wanted to talk about chemtrails today. Do you guys know anything about chemtrails?
I heard about them. I don't know how much I buy into it, but I think there is some legitimacy to it. I don't know enough to kind of lean one way or the other.
Well, apparently, or were you going to say something, Paul?
No, I've heard, it sounds familiar, but I don't know anything about it.
So chemtrails are being put out, I guess, by airplanes. Now, I remember when I could see that airplanes would put some kind of exhaust out the back of them. You could see it up in the sky. But now, apparently, what some airplanes are putting out is I think they call them chemtrails because I think that's made up of chemicals. And I don't know. I've heard some conspiracy theories that it's the government doing it to us to infect us with whatever's in the chemtrails, the stuff that they're putting out into the atmosphere. I've heard that it's biological weapons that our enemies are using. I don't know really what's going on, but I was wondering if you guys had heard anything about chemtrails.
Yeah, I heard some conspiracy theories about that, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if government is doing something behind our backs because we know what they pulled off with COVID, and they're not our friend. The government is not our friend. That's for sure. But how much of danger that really is, I can't speak to that either. Have to, and I don't think there's much credible information out there either. Like you just, if you go to somebody who buys into it, you'll find lots of supporting information. If you go to somebody who doesn't, you find the opposite. So I don't know what.
So, I've talked to. I mean, I've talked to people before who think that the government's going to use, or that the government does use, crop dusters, to expose us to chemicals and shit like that. But my problem with these kinds of speculations about the chemtrails and the crop dusters and stuff is, I don't understand why what would be in it for the government to expose random people to chemicals when they can't, you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be a controlled study, you know what I mean? Because they couldn't control how much of the chemicals each person was exposed to. They wouldn't know which people actually breathed in the chemicals and stuff. So I just kind of wanted to see what you guys were thinking about, because I've given it some thought and I just can't see how it makes any sense that it's the government trying to expose us to poisons or chemicals or whatever,
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I heard from some pretty credible people who I trust generally, who kind of believe into that, and they have their reasons. But I don't know. I didn't give much of a thought to it, really. I don't know. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, because I don't really know or have a lot of information on that. I don't really feel like I could contribute a lot to the discussion, just because I don't know much about it. So
yeah. Honestly, the only reason I bring it up is because it was something that I'd heard about on the news again this week, and since people were still talking about it, I thought I'd see what you guys think about it. Honestly, what I think about chemtrails is, because they're like up in the sky and they're, from what I understand, they are like clouds, I won't be able to see them, and if I am able to see them, I won't be able to do anything about it anyway. So like so many other things in our world, I've pretty much decided I can't do anything about it, and so I'll just trust God to protect me, and whenever God takes me, that's my time. So I'm done worrying about that stuff, I think.
I am too, and like I said, I don't discount this theory completely, because we know we are being experimented upon constantly. There are social experiments that are being conducted on us. There are medical experiments that are being conducted on us. Hence, gender transition or some other garbage due to people. There's so much going on. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you ever feel like they are trying to bombard your mind and heart with so much insanity that they're just trying to see how much your mind can take before it snaps? Because sometimes I'm like, gosh, why is there like just this never ending barrage of nonsense and BS from the left? You know what I mean?
Well, there are groups that actually work, like there's psychologists and sociologists who study human mind, and that's how and advertisement industry is very good at it, because they know how to craft messages, so they hit you right where they need to hit you. Like it comes to visuals and just verbal messaging. So we are constantly exposed to things like that they want to be exposed to, and how they do it. It's the same with news and whatever. So it's like that.
I think it's for me, I don't pay attention to a lot of the news personally, and some people may have an issue with that, and I've certainly heard of people tell me why, ask me why I don't, and I think the news, there's so much of it out there. Whether you're on the right or whether you're on the left, there's just so much of it out there, and a lot of it does come with a subjective perspective. And so to me, I know that the news, they want to get a reaction out of you, whatever side you follow. And so for me, I feel like more than now more than ever, the news is dividing us more than ever before, I feel like. And so I don't pay a lot of attention to it. Of course, there's some things I do. When it comes down to, last week we talked about the voting and, elections and that kind of thing. Yeah, I'll pay attention to that. But if it's daily news, oh, this is what the Democrats said, or this is what Trump said, or, no, I don't pay attention to those things. I do make it a point not to. There's a lot of studies that show, that people that watch the news, they have trouble sleeping. People that watch the news all the time, they have trouble sleeping. And, I have trouble sleeping as it is. And so I figured if I watch the news, I might even have more of an issue with it. So, I don't tune into it a super ton. I kind of stay in my own world. And that's maybe good in some ways, and maybe it's bad in some ways as well. I guess it just depends on who you ask. But I guess the way I, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but, I look at it kind of like, hey, there's people in my own immediate world that I love and care about very much. And those are the people that I want to focus on. And that's the kind of thing I want to focus on. My time and energy is the people that I truly care about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to stay informed. I look at news daily. I don't spend hours watching and reading news, but I do want to know what's happened, what's going on. It's kind of important. And that depends what news sources you choose to be trustworthy. So after a while, I just select whose information I trust, what information is legitimate, and not just a bunch of garbage and screaming and whatever. But as for your point about people not being able to sleep and being frustrated, yeah, you know what? Maybe there is some of it on the right, but I can guarantee you, like I even saw some studies that show that the liberals are way more emotionally unstable because they take it so to heart. They live every moment like they get so frustrated about things. Yeah, that's why so many of them are on antidepressants and just go to bed shit crazy. So I mean, yeah, it's all about exposure and stuff. But there's also important, like what news they want you to see, what news they want to bury. Like that story about the Ukrainian girl who was killed on a train by this felon in one of the Carolinas, was it South Carolina, I believe. Nobody has heard about it for days until Republicans started with, "Hey, hello, we have a murder here by somebody who should not have been in the streets." So that's when they reluctantly started talking about it. And there are many examples like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stories that never get reported, I've heard that when African Americans die, that doesn't get reported either. And that really upsets me.
You mean like the killings in Chicago?
Yeah. Like I've heard that when that shit goes on, that it just gets brushed under the rug and nobody cares about it. So those crimes are never investigated. You know what I mean? When there's black people that are killed, that they just don't care.
They do report black and black, not so much. Yeah, like in Chicago, those gang fights. Yeah.
At one point a while back, I mentioned on the show about a friend of mine in Geno's. His name, gosh, what was his name? Anyway, him and his dad died on the same day, like a couple years ago, right? And when Gino and I tried to find out what had happened to him and his dad, because we found out about it a couple months after the fact, we couldn't find any information on how him and his dad died. And they were both African Americans. And it was really stupid. You know what I mean? Like we searched the newspaper for news reports, for obituaries, and we did find an obituary. But there's really no way to find out any information about how him and his dad died. You know what I mean? And it was really frustrating. And I've just heard that in America, African Americans, like, they're not deemed as valuable as whites or as as important as whites, so their deaths are not reported and they're not, you know what I mean? And it really irritates me. And
I don't think it's necessarily true that blacks are undervalued over whites. I think it's increasingly becoming the opposite.
you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if a black person gets killed by a white person for whatever reason, oh, media goes nuts. If the opposite happens, they report it as though they won't even say the race of the person who killed. There are millions of examples of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you every day there is something happening every single day. So if you just to generalize this topic, of
Right.
news is just you would spend all day reading and watching something because there's
Right.
always something.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to read news, Paul, what news sources do you use?
There's a lady that I like to watch named Brett Cooper. I watch some of her stuff.
Oh yeah, I heard she's from Daily
I
Wire, right?
I beg your pardon?
She's from Daily Wire, right? The
She
Daily
was, yeah. I watched some of her
Yes.
stuff. I like her stuff. So I'll
Have
tune
you,
into her on occasion. Trying to think
have
of other
either of
people.
you watched Wendy Bell or heard her radio show?
I'm not familiar with that name at all. No.
No, I don't either. Who's that?
I watch her on Newsmax. Her name is Wendy Bell, and she has a 2-hour show in the mornings, every weekday. It's like a radio show, but Newsmax carries it live, the visual and the audio. But her name is Wendy Bell, and I really like her. She's very smart, very conservative. I, you know, anyway, she's on Newsmax, and her show comes on, uh, let me think, it's 8 o'clock, my time. And so I think that's like 9 o'clock Eastern. So,
Maybe
No,
10.
it's
or
10.
10 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. So, but her name's Wendy Bell, and I really like her. So if you guys want to check her out.
I will
Is
on occasion tune into NBC, but like I said, whether it's Brett Cooper or NBC, it's not a lot. I other networks that I won't mention, I won't tune into because I think they're a little too extreme for my liking. And one could say, what they feel about NBC or what have you, but to me, there's others that are a lot more blatant about, which way they lean, and I'm not always all that interested in that. So, but then again, I'm not all that interested in following a lot of the news, period. So, that's just me.
yeah. Well, and
My-
speaking of, oh, sorry, go ahead. Ben.
I was just gonna say that my sister Amber enjoys watching Wendy Bell also. So Wendy kind of, and my sister's like lesbian, right? So I just wanted to point out that Wendy's kind of like, I think everybody would like Wendy if they watch her. So
Yeah, I mean that's something stereotyping. Like the people, you said your sister is a lesbian, so that's what the left likes to say. Like they claim all the minority groups. Like if you're part of the minority group, that you're supposed to support the left. If you're a person with disabilities or some LGBTQ person or I don't know what have you, Black, Latino, oh, you have to support it. But it's not always the case. That's just a side
yeah,
note. But speaking of the networks, did you guys hear that how BBC in Great Britain got in trouble with Trump?
oh yeah,
Oh my god. Paul, you probably haven't, have you?
I seen a blurb, but I don't know what it was about.
they did the same thing that an outfit here in the States did. They fixed an interview to make it look like Trump said something that he didn't really say. Or not an interview. It was
It was a documentary.
Yeah, it was a documentary, but it was about the September or it was about the January 6th stuff, right?
Yes.
And, and but there was it the Washington Post that did the exact same thing? Or there was an outfit here in America that did the exact same thing.
About Trump, I don't know. I know that MSNBC did to Kamala Harris to make her sound less stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But they did that against Trump. I was that CBS, I think, that did that actually. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We'll be right back.
I know I don't need to remind you of what you must already be thinking. What any man in your position would be thinking at this moment.
You scream, or you try anything, I want to cut up that pretty little face of yours.
The father thinks he's being a hero. He ain't.
What you need to be asking yourself right now is, am I the kind of man to allow my wife to be violated? Or my young son? Over money? What kind of man are you?
Whatever you came here for, you won't get.
Oh my God, Gina, was that a different Baby Backs clip? Because that trailer seemed different to me. Did you guys hear? Or was that Invasion? Oh, no wonder it was different. So that was the trailer for Invasion, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I thought it was gonna be the Don't Look Now trailer. So
I thought it was gonna be Don't Look Now too.
I thought it was too. I was waiting for it, but it wasn't. I would like the surprise.
So that was Invasion. The trailer for Invasion. Invasion was our first project that we filmed.
Oh, okay. And what was that
about? It's about Gino, do you want to step in here since it's kind of your baby?
It's about let's just say it's 3 criminals that break into a house and take the wrong family hostage, and that's all I'll say.
Wow.
And it's we're trying to get that out to the festivals as well right now. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, guys, we're very busy here at BB Enterprises and BB Entertainment. That's why we have so many different projects right now that are out there. So,
well, y'all are certainly doing it, and I give y'all kudos for real.
Thank you.
Y'all seem to be doing it and putting it out pretty quickly. That's great. I know a lot of that. As someone who does a little bit of art, I know a lot of that takes a lot of work. So I give y'all kudos.
Oh, it really does. But we have an amazing team, thanks to Gino and his years of experience. He has amassed quite a team of experts and professionals in this field that have helped us make some really amazing projects. So,
yeah, that's cool, you guys. But Paul, you said you do art. What do you do for art?
I do music. I'm a musician, or at least I pretend to be.
Oh.
And so, occasionally.
What instruments do you play?
I play guitar and I kind of play mandolin, but I'd say mostly guitar.
I love guitar. I never learned to play the guitar. In school, I even had guitar at home, but I don't know, never learned.
So, Paul, have you ever written any original music?
Believe it or not, I have. Under my name, Paul Tandy. That's Tandy for the last name. If you look me up on YouTube, you'll see some of the songs I've written, original songs, and then some covers that I've also done as well. So,
okay.
So you sing too, then?
Some would say I do.
Okay, well, you guys put me on a spot in the beginning. Now we're learning that.
Anya, I can't wait till we schedule your debut right here on.
Oh yes.
The Blind View.
No, Paul goes first. Paul goes because he knows how to play guitar, so he can.
Can we stream a track so it's not actually live? Can we do that? That's a producer question. Can we actually stream a track?
I don't know. That would probably be for Gino.
Yeah.
Gino,
cool. I don't know how good it would sound. I don't know how good I would sound.
So, you mean you want to play a recording of it? instead of playing it live?
Yeah.
Well, we could play. How long is the track?
Oh well, it's I don't know. I think most of mine are like 3 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, if you provide it to me ahead of time, I can probably upload it and then pick a time during next episode and we play it, and then you guys can talk about it.
Oh well, let's not get excited. Let's not get carried away. I don't know if we want to do that just yet. But I was just asking, because I don't know. I don't know how good it would sound live.
It would be interesting to hear Paul's original music.
Yeah. Okay. We dare you, Paul, for the next show.
Yeah, and then Anya can sing live for us too.
No, I can't do live. I also have recordings.
Oh, okay. So we could do debuts separately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on different podcasts. But I am a gentleman, and so I do believe ladies should go first.
No.
Yes.
No, we're gonna since you play the guitar and sing, so you have a double thing there going. So you go first. I mean, if I sing, it's usually karaoke versions from YouTube, and I sing mostly like 99% Russian music. Like I mentioned to you guys before, I never acculturated to the American music, so I do have a couple of songs that we made with I made with my husband's son, who I mentioned before, who plays piano. So we did a couple of recordings in English.
Okay.
But I do think, in all seriousness, and Becca, this is your show, obviously, but having a song that you sang, Anya, that's Russian, I think the podcasters and listeners might really appreciate that because it's something unique, something different.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see how Paul's thing goes first.
Oh, well, I might be sick next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week Paul will be performing by singing and playing his guitar.
I might be sick.
Following week, I think Anya will be performing by singing.
We'll see. We'll see. I might be out of town next week. Oops.
That's okay.
You already are out of town, Paul.
Just send Gino your song, and you can be sick all you want. He just played on air. So.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Well, he's going to be playing the recording of each of you, right? So you guys can just sit back and enjoy it while everybody listens.
Or cringe.
Don't.
You might cringe if you hear my recording. You might.
Where is that? What is it? Jazz, blues, rock? What is it?
So that depends on what you're looking for, which is kind of interesting. So when it comes down to the music that I enjoy playing and love, I love bluegrass music. I really do. It's might be my biggest passion. I just love it so much. The mandolins, the fiddles, the banjos, the guitar licks, and the singing. So when I'm playing just here in my room, you'll probably hear a lot of that kind of music. You'll hear a lot of the bluegrass hits.
Bluegrass, never heard that.
But when it comes to the stuff that I kind of write, I'd say it's more folk Americana versus bluegrass. I don't know if I could write a bluegrass song. That might be a tough order for me. But yeah, if you haven't heard of bluegrass, it's a lot of harmonies in a lot of it. There's guitars, banjos, mandolins, fiddles, a little bit of bass. It's very acoustic music, very traditional, old-fashioned music, and I grew to love it because I heard of a band called Nickel Creek, and they played some bluegrass, and I wanted my Google over here to play some Nickel Creek one day, but I'm too cheap to pay for the subscription. So what it would do is it would play similar music, and I heard a lady sing by the name of Alison Krauss, and I heard her sing, and I don't know if you all have heard of her, but she's one of my favorites. And I heard her, and I was mesmerized by her singing, and the rest is history.
Did you guys hear this new song that they just released that was made completely with AI?
I have heard some of that. It's something. It's really something.
I listened to the song today, and it's actually a good song. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting too weird to me, you guys. I mean, it's just like at some point, like no talent will be appreciated anymore. Why to bother if AI can just produce anything? I mean, I don't see it as a good development, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a concern for me as a musician because, they have these AI bands on Spotify that have hundreds, if not thousands, of followers, and it's like AI can do AI is amazing. It really can do a great sounding song, but I think my concern, obviously, as someone who plays music, is kind of what you were saying, Anya, is, where does that kind of end when it comes down to the production, the mastering, the mixing of the music, but not just that, but also the playing of the music, comes the people that really play. And I'm not going to say that I necessarily do, but the people that really do play,
No,
do they
don't
get,
sell yourself short.
do they get depreciated? And I certainly hope that never happens.
Yeah, well, don't sell yourself short. You do
Say
play.
something. Normally, I know I don't talk, but this is something that affects, obviously, Becca and the projects that her and I are doing. Is AI is theft.
Mm-hmm.
It is all built on theft. It is stealing the hard work, years, decades for some, millions of hours of work. I mean, you got to think about when a composer, for instance, has sat there and learned all of these skills on how to arrange music, and AI in a split second just took it all because it was online.
Yeah.
It was all uploaded through a multitude of sources, those original compositions, and it was trained to study them and replicate them. It's theft. That's all it is. It is the biggest, it is the largest intellectual property theft machine ever created. If any one of us right now was to take a Mozart composition and copy it verbatim and then tweak one note and say, oh, look what I created, it sounds like Mozart, we would be sued into oblivion. So, I find it very troubling that all of these corporations have this much power, that our government, that no one wants to stop this. And it's not going to stop with the arts. It's going to be everything.
I do agree with that. It will be. And the thing that frustrates me now is, as a person who does write songs, you can tell AI to write you a song about there's not enough Coca-Cola in my refrigerator. And by golly, it'll do it. Now, whether it's a good song or not, it's up to the listener. And, but to me, if I'm going to write a song, and I know I'm being kind of silly here about there's not enough Coke in my refrigerator, like that's going to come from my heart and soul, versus AI does it. There's none of that at all.
So guess what I'm doing this Saturday, you guys? Speaking of music.
Shoot.
Going to a concert or something?
I have 4 tickets to the Bryan Adams concert this Saturday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I'm going to go
really
see
excited.
real live music. Yeah, I am excited. I like live music.
I don't know who Bryan Adams is, but I'm sure.
Bryan Adams.
Oh my goodness, he wrote a lot of great hits.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was really big when we were growing up in the 90s.
In the 80s.
Well, in the 80s too,
really
probably.
Big.
Guys, that's my weakest point. Like, I don't know almost any celebrities like that.
I think his biggest song would be Summer of '69, probably.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
So if you ever want to look that up, Anya, that would be probably his biggest hit.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer
Everything I Do for You is another big one.
Yeah.
I prefer songs in a minor key. Paul, you would know what I'm talking about. Like, American music is way too damn happy. I mean, it's all major keys, like these chords. I prefer something like melancholic, something minor. Minor.
Something more low key, huh?
Well, one thing which will be interesting, I'd be curious to know your thoughts on, Anya, is a lot of bluegrass lyrics are very sad lyrics, but they are played in a very major key. So I'd be curious to know how you would feel about that.
I don't like that, because I was messing with ChatGPT one time, and I gave just one song. I can't remember what it was. And I said, okay, find something similar to this. It has to be in a minor key. Because even, good lyrics, like fun lyrics, you can still play in a minor key. But in America, they do it backwards. They take a sad song and they play it in the major key. It's like, come on. I don't like that at all. I like minor keys the best.
Well, monarchy, there is something about, not to get too geeky around here right now, but there is something about the minor keys, so I do understand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
guys, we're almost out of time for tonight's show.
Yes, we are. I hope Brandon joins us next time, so we get to hear.
I hope he's not passed out.
He probably that was gonna give him some crap today.
Yeah, I was gonna give him some crap too. I'm really disappointed that he didn't join us.
Well, I hope that occasion why he was drinking beer was a good occasion.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, well, Buck, wish you luck with that. Who are you taking to your concert? To that concert?
I'm not really sure. Probably my sister and maybe her girlfriend, and maybe my friend Nicole. It might be Amber, Stacy, Nicole, and me.
Well, I don't know how much time do we have. Let me see.
Hey, Beck.
Couple of
What?
minutes.
Can you do me a favor regarding Brandon and his drunkenness?
What?
Why don't you recite your line? Do you remember your line?
My line from Baby Backs?
Yeah. He's probably passed out drunk
No,
somewhere.
knowing Brandon, he's probably passed out drunk somewhere, sleeping off another hangover. I did it better in the movie, though.
That's okay. I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. I wasn't quite ready.
Well, just to wrap everything up.
Acting, you guys, and I love acting under Gino as the director, because when Gino writes a script, he writes lines for you, right? But he lets you ad-lib them and make them your own, and it makes it more comfortable for me as an actress, you know.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
But you don't have to worry about saying the lines verbatim, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Paul, you were saying something?
Yeah, no, I was just to end on kind of a high note. I know we're fixing to be done with this in a couple of minutes, but I guess my question was for the, I guess, three of us. How many concerts you reckon you've been to in your lifetime?
I don't go to concert. I hate loud noise. I hate live music.
Oh.
Yeah, I hate fun. Okay, people say that I hate fun.
Other than school concerts, I think I've been to less than a half dozen concerts in my life. I really don't care for concerts. I like smaller, more quiet events. So the reason I bought these 4 tickets is because last time Patrick was here, we decided to go to the concert. It was originally supposed to be me, him, his brother, and his girlfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And so now Patrick took off. So now I'm scrambling to find people to go to the concert with me. Patrick did the same thing to me in August, if you guys remember. In August, I had 4 tickets to the Winona concert, and Patrick and I were supposed to be going with his brother and his wife back then, too. And Patrick took off in July and didn't come back till like September. So in August, I had to find people to go to the concert, right? And the same thing's happening again now, and I'm not buying any more concert tickets.
Well, and don't have Patrick back either.
Oh yeah, I don't have Patrick back either. That's for darn sure. I've actually met a nice guy on Facebook dating. He's from Australia, and
sweet.
Yeah, he's really nice. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to email us about anything, you can email us at beccameadows76@gmail.com.
Well, thanks everyone. It was a great
thank you everybody for tuning in. Please join us again next week for another exciting episode of The Blind View.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Take care now.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.